The arrival of iPadOS 26 signals a seismic shift in how we use iPads. What once felt like a glorified version of iPhone software is becoming something far more potent, a capable blend of touch-first ease and productivity brilliance. Apple seems to have made a mission of infusing iPadOS with Mac-level power while keeping its unique identity. From fluid multitasking to exciting design changes, this update may reshape our expectations of what an iPad can do. Yesterday, I talked about loading iOS 26 on the iPhone 11 and its performance. Today, it's time to explore what happens when iPadOS 26 lands on an iPad. And believe me, the changes are dramatic. We even ran the same tests on an iPhone 16, but this isn't about phones anymore. Apple has granted the iPad MacBook-like capabilities, and this transformation feels intentional. Apple's goal is unmistakable. They can't rest until iPadOS reaches Mac OS stature, and with iPadOS 26, they've made huge strides. Installation and compatibility. Anyone familiar with iPad updates knows you need to plug in your device to install major releases. The iPadOS 26 update is especially hefty, around 7 gigabytes, significantly larger than prior upgrades of 5 to 6 gigabytes. Expect the install process to take nearly an hour, heavy battery use, and noticeable heat buildup. You'll want a cooler room and a charger ready. It's encouraging to see Apple supporting older devices, including the 8th generation iPad, and even older 12.9-inch models from 2020. Installing the developer beta is not trivial. It comes with the usual warning. Bugs, occasional crashes, and even system corruption are possible. That's why I chose to avoid installing iOS 26 on my main iPhone. But on the iPad, I went all in. Let's walk through what I found. A completely new look and feel. The first thing you'll notice is the new liquid glass interface. It's among the most divisive changes. Some find it beautiful and futuristic, others find it overwhelming. The redesigned clock widget is larger and more interactive, while notifications glide down gracefully. Subtle but modern. The icon appearance has also changed. Reflective, glossy highlights give a sense of depth and fluidity, hinting at Mac-inspired aesthetics. I used large icons to reduce scroll lag, an unexpected performance benefit on my iPad Pro. But these visual shifts are enough for your home screen to feel fresh and novel. Deeper customization of home screen. iPadOS 26 brings advanced home screen customization features. When entering edit mode, you'll find a clear theme that enhances icon gloss and transparency. It mimics interface styles previously seen in some Android skins, yet Apple applies it with polish. It's optional. Many may prefer the default or dark style for clarity and focus. You can now drag and drop pages directly, rearrange them effortlessly, and personalize folders with increased control over positioning. These adjustments elevate the iPad home screen closer to what macOS users are accustomed to. Dock evolution. The dock can now hold up to 23 apps, a massive increase that feels in line with Mac-level multitasking. This path leads us toward desktop-class workflows on iPad. The dock's extended capacity supports more fluid navigation between apps without shuffling through pages or folders. The revolutionary window mode. This is arguably the most impactful feature. iPadOS 26 introduces true windowed multitasking. Not just split screen, but draggable, resizable, and closable app windows akin to macOS. You turn on window mode via Control Center and apps instantly transform into modular windows. Once active, Safari can shrink to a resizable window with drag corners. You can overlap multiple apps, reposition them, even run YouTube, Notes, and Settings side by side. Window mode supports minimize, maximize, close controls, plus a menu bar-like options row at the top, File, Edit, View, etc. This puts multitasking prowess well above the old Stage Manager, creating a true desktop-like environment with touch-first logic. This feature highlights Apple's evolving vision. They're effectively turning iPadOS into a macOS Lite armed with touch. It starts to answer long-standing questions about why Apple hasn't introduced touch to Macs. Their endgame might be to evolve the iPad into the tactile Mac. Differences with iOS. One interface contrast stuck out. The search bar remains at the top, unlike newer iOS versions which moved it downward. that may be ergonomic for large tablets, but still feels less optimized compared to phone UIs. I appreciate its placement, though. It's accessible and clear for desktop-style workflows. I see room for Apple to refine search placement further down the line. Background task support. Finally, iPadOS 26 grants background task support. Downloads, renders, exports. Any activity continues even if you switch away from the app. This is monumental. It's the feature users have been begging for, and it's finally here, although currently only on iPads. It signals what's possible on iPhones in future releases. Early performance challenges. Here's where early testing stings. As a beta, it's unstable. App navigation and refresh tests show stutters. My Pro model jittered on 120 Hz refresh. There have been blurred frames and occasional flicker. The issue appears software-driven, as hardware is flawless. This is only developer Beta 1. Beta 2 is due next week and will expect major improvements. By public release, performance stability should improve, interface polish will be smoother, and usability bugs fixed. Once finalized, iPadOS 26 should deliver a seamless, fluid experience. Our initial impression. This update delivers a significant leap in iPad productivity. Even with early beta wobbles, the maturity of multitasking, the window interface, dock expansion, background processes, and advanced UI polish mark a transition into Mac-tier capabilities. This isn't just an incremental update, it's a pivot toward a future where iPads may replace laptops in many workflows. If you've held back on updating, wait for betas 3 or 4. For the early adopters eager to test touch-powered multitasking, iPadOS 26 Developer Beta unlocks a glimpse into a future where iPads and MacBooks converge.